So lovely people. Some glitch in case if you would have managed to have a glimpse of what I was trying to do earlier. So we are back to StreamYard and it's already 4. Uh, it's time that we start our deliberation. So yes, one more interesting topic, one more fabulous speaker. Honestly, I'll tell you, my Sundays have just become more meaningful and more happening. Not only because of I come across such wonderful coaches and wonderful people around, but also my wonderful audience who is kind enough and comes back time and again on my page. So this is giving me really a boost and a lot of encouragement to keep looking for more, to keep doing more. Today, we're going to be speaking on the art of communication. And joining me in this little endeavor is Coach Venkat Lingam. He comes from Singapore all the way to share his wisdom, to share his knowledge, to share his experience with us on a very, very important element of our life, the emotions, the emotional intelligence. Now, before we actually deep dive into this whole discussion or this, the formal talk that we have decided to share, I want to share a little bit about myself. What made me generate interest in the world of emotions? So I asked a few questions to myself. Of course, we become aware most of the time when we are facing a challenge or we are in a space or a place in life where everything challenges us. So there was a point in time where my emotions were being challenged and I started questioning myself. What is it that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this? It could be happiness or it could be, an extreme form of any emotions, an anger or frustration or despair. Why is that happening to me? And that why started the whole journey of understanding emotion and the role it plays in our lives. Most importantly, the role it plays in communication. So, to starting on this little note of self reflection and giving it a thought kind, I would like to introduce first myself. Hi guys, I'm Purnima Kanoja, Mindful Communication Specialist. I help emerging leaders move from intent to impact by bringing clarity to their thoughts and emotions, and of course, helping them become better leaders. I'm the speaker that I have today. I really need to take a deep breath because there's a long list that I need to share about it. So Venkat, as I said, comes from Singapore. He's an international coach. He's been in the space of training and coaching for past 13 years. He has trained more than 21,000 professionals across the globe. He's a certified trainer in Australia, in Malaysia, and of course his home country, Singapore. He is a certified emotional intelligence coach and a practitioner of NLP and Enneagram. He is a recipient of Star 2020 Award and Certificate of Commitment by the World Book of Records and has represented Singapore in many, many international forums. So, with this little introduction, I hand it over to you, Venkat. Can you please tell us about yourself?
Thank you so much, Purnima. Thanks for this invite. It's a great pleasure to be part of your talk show. And thank you for all the introduction that you've said so far. And basically, that's what I am. It's all the titles and all the abbreviations. But who I am is what the world is lacking. They don't want to look at the inner side of every individual, the who I am. So emotions and the key word that we spoke a few days back, empathy, right? All those are so important today. Even the world leader, Obama, once mentioned that the world lacks um, empathy. The world is lacking empathy today. So I'm really glad that you invited me to have a chat with you on the importance of emotions and communication, how important it is to communicate well, empathizing with people, and how it's going to help you to be a better leader today and tomorrow. Thanks, Vinima. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Venkat, for giving us a little peek on that thought, the world. the word empathy. This is a very deep word, and I think the humanness element begins with this word empathy,
True.
and gradually it flows to compassion. So sympathy, okay, empathy is the thing, and the next level is compassion.
Mm.
So very well said by Obama, and of course reiterated by you. You have been in this training space and coaching space for a real long time, and you have trained so many professionals. Vankat, can you tell me the importance of the emotions? When it comes in pairing up with communication, and next level is leadership. How do these two things impact the leadership?
Nice question, Purnima. So let's separate into three parts. First one is on emotions. Secondly, we'll target on the communication and how these two can help you to be a better leader, right? We got to understand that the world is driven by emotions. Whether it's you, me, or the whole world is driven by emotions. From the time you wake up, see, for example, Purnima, today you're wearing a white blouse, I see. What made you choose? You wish to share with us? What made you choose this particular blouse? You want to share with us?
I'm somehow fond of whites. In fact, most of the time you see me somewhere around whites, and this is
Okay.
something more comfortable, and this feels right and appropriate for a top like this.
So how you see, it felt right. So it's all about emotions and feelings here. So you chose this because you want to feel good, you want to look good, right? So when you look good, you feel good, you present well. So the choices that we make in a day, it's all based on your emotions and how you are feeling. And if we do not identify our emotions, how can we ourselves be a better person? And how are we going to lead others? Right? So that's why I'm going back to the statement the world is driven by emotions. Are we able to identify them? Do we know what triggers us, what makes us happy? Right? I'll quickly share an incident, right? It happened a couple of years ago. I used to train from 9 to 6, physical classroom, right? This was before the COVID period. I used to train 9 to 6, half an hour break, and then 6:30 to 10:30 evening class. Now this was happening every day. First week, okay, I was enjoying. Second week, my performance was slacking, and then I became a bit more grumpier in the class. Now these people are all leaders, managers, executive, business owners. Second week and third week, they started giving me feedback. So, are you okay? Are you okay? I said, why? We hardly see you smile anymore, and you snap often. That got me, reflecting, because I was feeling tired, because I was chasing performance and results, all my goals. I was not checking in with my emotions. I was not checking in how am I feeling. So what was happening in the class? The respect that I had, the trust that they had in me as a leader of the class, right, was decreasing because the credibility was being questioned now. So when I started learning more about emotional intelligence, then, like I think in 2017, so I started incorporating emotional intelligence in all my leadership topics. What good am I of a leader if I do not even know how to identify or manage my emotions? Why am I learning on how to manage people? So that is why. So emotions, identifying, managing emotions, or understanding emotions is so important. Then came your second question about communication. Now imagine at this show now in Singapore at 6:30. Yeah, at 6:25, I receive a very nasty message. WhatsApp message. How is my mood, emotions going to be? And at 6:30, when I come for this talk show, am I going to be in a relaxed, composed mood? Because if I'm relaxed, which is my thoughts, my actions, my behaviors, is all reflected based on my emotions. Now, why do we snap? Why do we shout at our spouse or our children? It's because maybe we are tired, maybe because we're angry, right? So, choosing the right words, choosing the right tone, it all matters and it all boils down to the current emotion or the feeling you're going through. And that in total helps you to become a better leader, be it at home, be it on the street, or be it in the office. That's how I can summarize this question for you. Identifying your emotions. What are your trigger factors? Are you able to understand your emotions? Are you able to manage it? Once you're able to manage it, I like what you used to do. You used to say mindful communication, Koinuma, right?
That's
Mindful
exactly.
communications actually starts by being mindful of your emotions, your thoughts, your
Yes,
behaviors, and your actions.
absolutely.
Nice question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venkat, for sharing so much about the impact of emotion on number one, yourself, you as a person, you as a leader. So when it comes to leadership, you kind of it's an added on responsibility. So the add-on responsibility comes with an add-on, so it's not only responsibility; it's much more than that. And for that, in order to do that role effectively, it starts with me first. How am I handling myself? And then from there roots the leadership and the other roles that I need to play. So that was a
Absolutely.
fantastic, points, or rather, the thoughts that you shared with us. So next, actually, we had planned to share a video with you, but because of some software glitches, we are not able to share a video.
It's fine.
Moving on to the next part, I think let's go to the next one. Yeah. So when it comes to the corporate world, Venkat, the whole thing of so leadership is not like a one day affair. I just land up with some people responsibility, or I land up in a space where we are working in teams, and I'm the one who's heading the team. It's not just like a one time thing. It's a lifelong, or rather say a long term planning, a long term sustenance. When it
Yeah.
comes to emerging leaders or young professionals, in your opinion, how should one conduct themselves so that they are able to sustain, not only the roles that they play, but also in terms of the individual that they are? So, how do you sustain? How do you strive in the corporate world?
Nice question. Interesting. Um, if you refer to Daniel Goleman's book, which was written in 1995, I think, The Importance of Emotional Intelligence and Why It Can Matter More Than IQ, right? So this is where IQ and EQ comes. Yes, IQ can land you a job. IQ is a measurement of your ability to solve problems, think logically, and all that. But what makes you keep the job or gets you a promotion is your EQ. As much as, yes, AI is taking over the world, the digital world, right? It's also about EQ because you're still managing people, you're still interacting with humans. These people have emotions. Now, every leader has a follower. Yeah, I'm not talking about social media influencers with 20,000 or 200,000 followers. That's different. We have followers. In order to have followers, people need to trust you. People need to like you. You need to have credibility. Again, I'm using these keywords. See, EQ is having the ability to interact effectively. EQ is about understanding others, their emotions, so that you can connect. The key word to take away in this talk show, I would say, is about connection. That's what the world is lacking today. So, what's going to help you sustain your job is, yes, have a high EQ. Go learn all the skills that's needed in order to perform your job. But do not forget, in order to communicate, in order to manage a team, in order to do a report to your superiors, you need to have the proper communication skills, which is emotional intelligence. So going, it's the four domains of emotional intelligence. The first one being self-awareness, knowing your strength and your weakness. Second one is your self-management, second domain. That means you're able to identify yourself, you're able to manage yourself. Third one is social awareness, understanding people's emotions, identifying their cues. And the fourth one is relationship management. That's how important it is. So if you want to be a leader, you got to understand yourself first and you got to understand others. So that's the EQ part. So do not always attach leadership is all about performance, it's about all about results. No, it's about how to get there with your team, how to have your team to trust you, how to work together with your team. So the video that we wanted to share to the public was a very recent incident where this the manager was shouting and screaming in Zoom to his sales team members. It happened in one of the bank, I think, came on the in the Facebook last week. He was just screaming at the top of his head, "Shut up! I'm talking. Going to give you a poor results when it comes to your performance appraisal." See, there's a trigger factor there. So what triggered him to perform or shout like this was attached to a goal which was not achieved by the team members. Now, after that, after you shouted, do you think your team is going to happily and wholeheartedly going to achieve the goals now? No. You lost trust. You lost credibility. So apparently today that manager is getting sacked. So no, he got the job as a manager because of his IQ, his certifications. But because he lacks the EQ, he has lost his job. He wasn't able to manage his emotions. So it's an essential skill today, especially after COVID, to learn and master emotional intelligence. This helps you keep your job. This helps you for promotion also.
And very aptly you gave an example because I've seen that video, so I know how bad the
Yeah,
situation was. And I have personally seen in my own professional career where people, because of the lack of awareness of their own emotions, or maybe lack of awareness of the impact, so it's one is I don't know what I feel, why I feel, how I feel. Next, I'm completely unaware of the impact of
absolutely,
that behavior on the audience, on
absolutely.
my teammates. So being unaware of that fact makes the situation worse, because you're not only going in a space or going in a zone where you are not going to be getting compliance from your team. Down the line, you are also going to be harming your own career path. See,
Absolutely, well
when we
said.
say career path and team, you're not even talking of yourself. You go back home in that foul mood, or maybe in an unpleasant experience that you've had during the day, and you carry back, that's a baggage. You carry that baggage back to your home, and you're dumping it on your own very family.
Well said. Yep.
And it's a loop. It's not something like a one time a scenario or thing. You're falling into a loop, and you're spiraling down. So we could have,
Remember,
those.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Sorry,
Venkat,
you're
please go
saying?
ahead, please. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
remember
please go ahead.
the last year the symposium I was mentioning. Try to practice the pause.
Yes.
Practice the pause because that particular manager, there was a trigger factor. Maybe his superior shouted at him, and like what you said, he's bringing it to his team now and dumping it on his team now, putting the pressure on his team now, and now he has lost his job. So if you can practice the
Yes.
pause, ask yourself what is your current emotion. Is it the right time to talk to your spouse or to your team? So
Yeah.
in that period, 6 to 10 seconds, you practice the pause, identify your emotions, choose what's the next best solution or
Yeah.
options. So we have options, we have choices. Like in the beginning of this talk show, I said the world is driven by emotions. The choices are made by the decisions that you make is based on your emotions.
In fact, I've,
And do
I've
not,
heard
yeah,
I've heard people
sorry.
say, I mean, even senior professionals say that you should not display emotions in your workplace. So this thought process or this mindset of the very fact that you're not accepting a very human element. Emotions are very, very, uh, they're the core to the essence of being human. So if you're not accepting that fact that the workplace is not the space to show your emotions, the next question that comes to my mind is, what is our understanding? Does emotion means only in the extremes? Those extreme emotions, the anger, or maybe frustration, or just over hyper excitement or something like that. No, emotions are not the extreme ones. Emotions are the subtle shifts that happen to you by the time you reach the extreme stage.
Mm,
So there's a lot that goes, by the time you have hit a roadblock. There's a lot that goes by the time you have hit a blow up situation where you are just out of control and just blasting all over on everybody and anybody who comes your way. So that's what emotional intelligence means. How intelligent you are to keep a check on yourself. So pause is a very powerful thing. I'm so thankful, Michael, you brought this word into this discussion, the power of pause. It's really amazing. You are like just a pause away from making a right decision and doing the
Disaster
right
also.
action.
Yes.
So
Nicely
it's
said.
as small and it is as important as that. And if you
Yeah,
allow me, Michael, yeah.
sure.
I would like to add one point here. I can't miss this. Because we are talking on communication and we are talking on emotions, I kind of, this topic very close to my heart, and compassionate communication. My goal, or rather the aim of coming into this world of coaching or coming into this domain of being a communication is I want to induce compassionate communication in leadership roles. I have seen
Thank you.
enough examples in my 10 years of career, both personal life front and professional life front, where that feeling of I don't care, that apathy has led to, I would say, roller coaster rides, or maybe a bigger disaster, just because somebody was not able to check on themselves at that moment and they decided not to care. And it has, trust me, it has led to millions and millions of losses. So emotions, don't just dismiss them, don't just throw them away out of the workspace. They can be used as a very energy source in your professional life. And Venkat, I kind of hand it over to you to share your bit on this.
It's actually you're a subject matter expert when it comes to this particular topic, compassion, communication. But the keyword I used earlier on, connection. How do you wish to connect with the people that you're communicating to? If you can focus and emphasize on that keyword, connection, right? Your choices of words may differ. The tone when you type out a message, you will think twice before drafting out the message, whether it's via email or WhatsApp. Yeah, let's not blame technology. It's superb. It's really helping us. Look at us today. You're sitting in India, I'm sitting in Singapore, thanks to technology. But how are we using the technology and how are we drafting out? Because we don't even pause to type out an email. It's a red race world. Everything is fast, 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 fast. So in our language that we speak, there's no love in it. There's no connection in it. Now, WhatsApp is superb. But why are we always using WhatsApp? If there's a need for me to see you face to face and minimize technology, now that's already a connection, Purnima. You can literally see my body language, which speaks a lot. You can see my smile that sends a lot of message out to you. You can see my warmth, right? All this. So let's have a balance, Purnima, between technology and human connection, human interaction. Now, how else are you going to show? Sometimes we send a message, your face is so straight, but it's sending a smiley out there. But your face is straight, So what's the point? You're going to forget how to smile.
Absolutely.
So how are you going to be
Yes.
compassionate? How are you going to be connecting with other humans? Now, today is all about AI. Fine, robots has always been there actually, but humans do exist. If you do not connect with a human, you are as good as a robot. So
That's
compassionate equates to empathy. In bracket, it's all about connection. Do you wish to connect? If you wish to, watch your words, watch your tone, empathize. That is connection.
true. And word powerful, when you say connection. I would like to add one bit here. We always want to connect with the team. We want to connect with family or friends, and there's a whole bunch of things to connect to. My question is, are you connected to yourself?
How? Sorry.
Are you connected to yourself? Do
Lovely,
do
lovely.
I know myself so well One, that I'm not manipulate. I don't make an attempt to feel good for something else. I generally feel good. I don't make an attempt to please somebody, or I don't make an attempt to do certain things in a certain way because it is somebody else's expectations. So this bit of connection, for me, honestly, Venkat, everything begins with me, including compassionate communication. It's okay to fail. It's okay if you have not met your targets. It's absolutely fine in case you don't hit your numbers, or you don't hit what you have planned for the day, or maybe for the year, or you would have had a long term goal, and that's absolutely fine.
Mm.
You always have a next chance. Thing is, how well related are you to yourself? So there's a lot. I think we have chosen a big topic, a humongous topic, and a very very short span of time. I can go along with Venkat on this for at least one full day minimum, and still maybe we could have some. Okay, Venkat, let's talk about this tomorrow, kind of thing.
True, true.
So we are here on a Facebook Live. Oh, let's remind ourselves. And limited time, huge topic. And I am sure we have some wonderful audience here, Venkat, today, who's been watching us right from the start. Guys, if you are around, I really, really want to, listen to your comments, or what is that one takeaway you would want to drop us a word or something, so that this feels good for both of us as a speaker, and we know that you have been a good audience. So anybody out here, we have four people around. Sandeep Bidwa is there, who's joined us. He's really a nice gentleman. He's been there with me for almost most of my lives. Sandil Kumar Mari, thank you so much for joining us, Sandil. And
Wonderful.
we have a close friend. Well, I don't know why he calls himself Tiger Tiger. Rajneesh De Negi, thank you so much for taking time out and joining me on my live. And Mr. Shiv Shankar Maurya, thank you so much, Mr. Maurya, for taking out this little time for us. And I'm sure there must be some takeaway for you from this live. I would love if you could just drop us few words for us. And yes, Sandeep Vidwai, it says it's all connect, which means a lot. Yes, very well said, Sandeep.
Lovely.
And thank
Yeah.
you so much for taking away that little word from us. And I'm sure whoever watches this video after we have, stopped live streaming, please go all out, check out the video, try making that little shift in your life, which makes you in a better space as a first a good human, and of course leadership roles. You have a lot of responsibilities, guys, whoever are in the leadership role. It's not about goal setting, it's not about the year end appraisals. You are becoming an inseparable part of the lives of your team members. It doesn't have to be now, maybe a few years down the line. They will think
Mm.
about you and say, oh, this person said this, or this person made me feel a certain way. So, and I'm sure all of us want to leave people with good memories or with good feelings with us. And to sum up this
Absolutely.
entire life, I would love to, I'm a big quote fan. So this quote is like wonderful. And I mean, it's just apt. Some people think only intellect counts, knowing how to solve problems, or maybe knowing how to get by, knowing how to identify an advantage and just grab it and seize it. But the functions of intellect are insufficient without courage, love, friendship, compassion, and empathy. And this wonderful quote is written by a famous author, Dean Koontz. Thank you so much, Dean, for penning it so aptly for us and making our life a notch up. So with this, thank you so much, Vaya Sandeep. He's dropping us a thank you, Venkat sir and Pranama ma'am.
Thank you,
And
Sandeep.
I'm glad you were there for with us, watching us live stream this, and looking forward to some more fun in the coming weekends, Sundays. Yes, thank you so much, Venkat, and I'm sure both of us, we have created a little ripple here on a lot of things that we share commonly, and let's see how we take it forward.
Sure, Purnima. Thank you so much for the invite once again, and thank you all viewers.
Your parting thoughts, anything you want to share, Venkat, anything that you want to add up?
Sorry, Purnima.
I said, would you like to share a parting thought, something that you want to add up, or
Yeah, I mean, you summarized it quite well. Just that the keyword is connection over here. And to the leaders out there or the emerging leaders, do not always focus being a task-oriented leader. Have a balance. Be a task-oriented leader and a people-oriented leader. A balance between these two to achieve your goals.
thank you so much, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Purnima.
Bye.